And you're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
I'm having a wonderful day. Smile like you live, it's a blessing for me. Today the dreams to be on me. Cause I'm having a wonderful day. Hey, hey. I'm having a wonderful day. Smile like you live, it's a blessing for me. Today the dreams to be on me. Cause I'm having a wonderful day. Hey, hey. Hey, y'all.
Hey, and you're live here. Peep
It's
Game
Friday.
TV with Big Mus and King Duhan. What's happening, everybody? And welcome to the show.
All right. What's up, good people? Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, Peep Game TV, my
Jay
YouTube channel,
Wise
Peep Game TV.
Entertainment.
And don't forget to bring other people and tune in, to Live at 5. So,
What's going on today, my brother? We free Freaky Fridays, we freestyling Fridays, or
yeah.
you want to continue
What?
with that
Well,
situation that's going on? It's a lot going on. We can't take it all in all at one time.
yeah.
Feel
Well,
me?
definitely. I just want to know, okay, how can we as a people, right now Diddy's facing America. You know what I'm saying? When the feds come after you, facing America. So it's you versus America. And anytime one of us is versing America, such as R. Kelly was versing America, you know, it appears many of us, rather than say, give a person the benefit of the doubt, we start going with what the media say. You know what I mean? Many of us appears to do that. Like, I often think about, okay, what happened with R. Kelly? Does what they accused him of take away his legacy of being a creative genius? That's my question to you.
Well, as you know, they celebrate some slave owners that killed a lot of us. You understand? So, I mean, when it comes to the negativity, should you still and that weighs on it because it's like, okay, you be shocked at first. You be like, ah man, this person is doing such and such. So that's a withdrawal. You feel me? You don't want to anticipate. R. Kelly, and they said this on the radio also. Some of his songs coincided with some of his charges, so I can't. Because some of his songs, if you listen to some of the lyrics, then it'd be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So it appears that he was living that on his records. It appears, and I mean, that's only my opinion. When I listen to his songs and then I see, I'm like, whoa, he was like really putting it out there. But we was thinking that it was just music, not taken away from the talent, but his talent, and it was distributed in other ways, in other forms, in other fashions. I believe I could fly. You feel me? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it was distributed, and a lot of other songs he wrote for people. You
And,
know what I'm
and
saying?
and and what's the other one? Show me your ID before I get knee deep.
You're right.
You
You
know
know
what I
what I'm
mean?
saying?
Okay, so that was okay. Show me some ID. I want to be, I want to make sure you good.
Right,
So,
right, right,
so
right,
you know what I
right.
mean?
But see, so it because some of us, when we are doing music, we describe of a situation that we're going through, or we know that people are going through, in order to relate and send out the frequency to the people, like so they can relate to it. You feel me?
Right.
So when it comes to that situation, see, Puffy was like a producer and a background manager, record label owner, slash. So a lot of things that he did, he actually wasn't on it. Some things he was on it, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of production that he did and hits records that he did, he wasn't on it. He was on a lot, throwing a little slang, yeah, Billy Bad Boy from Bang Bing Boom Boom, yeah, come on, baby, you know what I'm saying? He was doing that. But a lot of songs he they put out on that label, he wasn't on. So it was some things that he wasn't on. So do you take that creativity away from him with the action? And
Right.
that goes to say like this. when we do something, do that define us for the rest of our life?
That's my point right there. That's it.
Okay, so we're looking at the action now, but do that define us for the rest of our life? Okay, and if it does, so there is no forgiveness. So when a person do bad, he can never ever do good. When a person makes a mistake in the error and get caught and be like, all right, boom, he can never change his life again. That's it. So the
Well,
past, the past has to stick with you for the rest of your life. And if we're gonna say that, then now we know why the condition and we're being treated the way we're being treated. Because if you apply that, then you're applying the same thing that they apply with us as a whole, as a people,
yeah,
as a whole, as a people.
absolutely. Yeah, the non forgiveness. You know what I mean? And there are millions of people who are religions, and religion, all the ones I know, speaks on forgiveness. It even says the Creator is forgiving. So if the Creator is forgiving, who are we not to forgive someone for their transgressions? And beyond that, and not to belittle, what if individuals have done what they're accused of, not to not to belittle the victims, because the victims have their own circumstances, and their
Their
families have to go
experience,
through too.
exactly.
Yeah. So we have to always be mindful of that. However, we also have to be mindful of the individuals and their family members who have nothing to do with their actions. So now, do we allow, for example, what happens to R. Kelly catalog? Who takes control of all the money, as well as all the production that he's done for other people? He's done songs, as you said, for other people that he's not on. Where's that revenue going? Who is that revenue going to? Does that revenue now go to America, or does it go to his family?
Well, as remember, as it was going down, and I don't know how he did his finances, but as they were saying, he didn't have no money and he borrowed money. So, some way, maybe somehow, he put some type of protecting in there for his finance. I know, as of the other day, after the incident happened with Puffy Combs, P Diddy, after it happened, he signed over his rights on revolt to another brother, which was a great move, because people ain't tying the ends in, but he signed those rights away so Revolt can keep doing what it's doing without him being a member of it, without him taking a part of it. So now he's out of the way. So
Which is
now Revolt can still continue to service the community and reach the goals they was going to reach, whatever he had in the play. So he didn't let Revolt be a part of his own
take the fall of
desires,
what's
and
going on with
exactly.
his
So
life.
now he manned up and say, look, I'm gonna take care of this, but this can't come down, this can't tumble. Now when you do something like that, bro, that's a great move. But you
Yeah,
got to have
absolutely.
things in place, knowing that you doing such things, you got to have something in place, health. Because if when you look at it as a whole, and that's all of us, man, it's like, um when something been going on so long and so many people could speak on it now, you just wonder, like why,
Why now? Why
why you
now?
ain't never
All of a
speak on
sudden,
it? Like you
this
got
right,
public, you in the public too. Like why you
right,
ain't never speak on it? So
right. So
if you
yeah,
got so much to say about it now, why didn't you say nothing before? Like
and that's a good question.
aren't you what they say? Isn't that part of that
Complicit?
conspiracy to be hushed?
You can use complicit.
Right? But now isn't that like you being a rat?
Hey.
I mean, like, I'm not
And,
listen. I'm not taking
and
nothing
not
about it,
even
but
not
I'm putting it in terms like if you knew and you saw again and you knew what was going on and you didn't say anything, right? To what capacity that was allowed? You understand? You didn't say anything. Did you play a role? Because now
well.
they throwing a lot of names and stuff like that, but we ain't on that one. You feel me?
Right, right,
That's what they do. That's what they do. But as a whole, as a people, we have to understand that when powerful men get in a position and they done things and they be taken down, the powerful men have to, if they're structuring something for the people to benefit the people, they got it. That was a good move. Like, let me get away from revolt and
right,
let that continue, and y'all come after me now. Now deal with
right,
me. Now it ain't, you ain't taking
right.
this away from me. And yeah, that was smart of him.
No,
He did
absolutely,
that the next
absolutely,
day, like boom. Let me get up on it.
absolutely.
Let me get rid of that. That was a
Yeah,
powerful. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Because and my point is that whenever America comes after an individual, they an individual who identifies as black, or if you want to say a person of color, melanin skin, whatever you want to say, it always appears that they want to strip them down from their finances. They want to take all their finances, and then we never know what happens to it. Like at the end of the day, what do your finances have to do with your personal issues? You know what I mean? It belittles the legacy of the individual because let's use Bill Cosby for example. Bill Cosby is responsible for teaching us, our generation, all types of lessons with Fat Albert. You know what I mean? We used
Right,
to watch Fat Albert every Saturday. We excited. We go to watch Fat Albert because we know we're going to get a lesson.
right.
You know, so that's his legacy. So why we have to be mindful not to allow America to taint all of our heroes and make them become something else. Even with Michael Jackson, you know,
Right.
the majority of us grew up with him. And it all and it's like the same play. It starts off with sex and little children. Think about it. You know what I mean? They America has a tendency to attack our heroes and tear them down right in front of our face, and a lot of us start pulling their flesh off too.
Well, what happens is, like, a lot of us don't understand. We hear things about what goes on in a type of entertainment industries, right? We hear things, but it don't really set in until like it's one of our favorite icons or something like that. Then that action wipes out because of the influence and how it's distributed. And yeah, it's the same scenario with everybody. They throw the same thing. And this is to strip them. Like, if I say it's drugs and guns and it's drugs, guns, and sex trafficking, now I can go after your finances. I can seize your finances because you could be funneled through that or whatever, blah blah
Right,
blah blah
right,
blah.
right. Laundering
And we
money. Now you're laundering money.
yeah, we can make that look like anything because we the
Yeah, yeah.
man. We could do whatever we want to do. We
Right.
could draw
Because we're America.
because yeah, we could
We're
call it
America.
like we want. We could do whatever we want. But that doesn't take away the fact of, do I let that coincide with the creativity and the things that I adhere to? Do I let that coincide and make my decision for me not to listen to it no more? Right? Because
Right.
we listen to people we don't like. We follow people we don't even like. We follow people we don't even know. We take advice from people off the internet that we never heard or seen, and they say something and we run with it. So we are conditioned to adapt to the trending that they set in front of us by the power of influence they got over us. So they send out that frequency. So they send it out slow and they do it gradually. And they do it gradually. And they can make you doubt or hate a person just because, even if you really don't feel that way. Even if you
Yeah.
really don't feel that way, but they'll make the decision for you. And that's what happens to our heroes. If you say, I won't say they heroes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won't label them as heroes.
Well,
Okay.
and that
I
for
would
lack
label
of a,
them. I would label them as
our
icons.
high profile individuals. That's
Yeah,
a better
I would
word.
label. I
Uh,
will. They definitely did something, and a lot for a lot of people, and to the culture, especially when it comes to entertainment, a whole lot, without a doubt, and nobody can take that away from them. And we should hold on to that because it's like when something is occurring for so long and you be like, okay, this goes back to this time, and he was doing this, he made this song, he made this song, he made this song during that time. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
now you got to take all that history and you got to be like, well, he was doing that, so I ain't I'm not catering to that, I'm not getting into that. And that's the support of the victims, the people, the family. Okay, this guy was ugly. He was haram. So I ain't being bothered with him, and I ain't feeding into the things that he did because his intentions was one thing, and his intention was another thing, and he was doing something else. So you can see why people would say, "Nah, I'm not even supporting that because that money might have been going in a circle and feeding into it." So it's a lot when it comes to our decision making, but that's our decision making. When you're influenced to make the decision and you're just following to make the decision, that's something different. And that's how we get torn down because it's put in front of us like this, boom, and it's like, ba 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 ba, and what follows that is all the people you again look up to. So all the other people you look up to, you hear them saying, "Hey, boom, boom,
Yeah,
this file, boom, boom."
don't
So
mess with
now,
this one. Don't mess with that one. Right.
exactly. So now that's like, yo, even this one, he said it. He said back in the day, this happened, this happened. Then you should be like, oh, okay. So back in the day, what did he do? Did he stop it? Did he intervene? What did he do? Did he put it
Right.
out there?
And that's
So
and that's the other thing because in any other situation, if so let's do an example. If you and I are together and I go rob a bank and you're sitting in the car, when I come back to the car and they catch us, they're gonna say you was a part of
of course I was. They
it.
most definitely. That's law, bro.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
law right now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say those individuals who say, "Oh, I noticed this person do this and do that," you was there. So, what part did you play? Like you said, did you try to intervene? Did you try to talk him out of it, or were you a part of it? And now that it's being brought out, you saying, "Oh, no, it's not." This is something else.
Yeah,
I
but see,
didn't.
that's the now, and that's the part right there. It's like you be like, yo, they do what they do. You feel me? I've seen a lot of things in the music business. They do what they do. You feel me? But okay, so now I want to talk about it because it's out. That doesn't make sense, bro. Like, what I'm gonna talk about this nigga for now for? Like, for what? I mean, a lot of it is entertainment, bro. And that's all it is. Gossip is what it is. That tends to the ear. You know what I'm saying? Fitna is a powerful thing, brother. The why whistle in the ear, man. People listen to that. People follow that. People want to hear that. People want to hear things so they could be a part of something and they can continue with it. And that's how it is. But uh, and they don't think they don't understand how we're being stripped of so much. Okay, like a couple years ago, oh man, I forgot who said it. I don't know if Farrakhan has said it, but like going back a minute ago, one of the leaders said, when there's no leaders, the community only can look at the entertainment as icons. Those who is on top in entertainment, they're going to be looking at them.
Right.
And this was before it got so bad, and in the movies, they got so bad that it changed around. I think BET was still pumping black then. You feel me?
Right.
This was before that transition made, and they was like, when there's no more leaders, who's gonna lead? And we thought it was funny back then, like 20 years ago. We thought that would be a joke, and look what you have today. You understand? And a reason that is because our generation is musically icons and entertainment. That's how we grew up. When we left the streets, we looked at for entrepreneurship, what we could do, open up a restaurant, be a barber, get into finances, doing some accounting. A lot of people looked at for being self-employed. And
Right.
a majority of those people was a part of our generation coming up in hip hop. So now that you see that hip hop plays a position, or should I say, artist plays a position in our community to be looked upon with the answers, um, with the guidance, they change it and make them negative. So now they're not putting out nothing positive, even being in that position. Even with movies, they're not putting nothing out that's positive. They might give you a glimpse in the end, but they're not putting out nothing that's positive. Like you wouldn't see a Cosby show nowadays, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So you wouldn't see nothing, or you'll listen to music, but if you don't get iHeart or you don't stream, you're not getting it on the radio unless it's a certain hour or a certain time, and they'll give you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then it's back to the chaos. So they already know that these people play a position of influence. And these are leaders of our community, bro. Whether we want to
Well,
look at it or not, they
I mean,
are, bro.
yeah, because they have a high influence on the youth as well as some of us of age. Now, my question is pretty much okay. We know what America and American society is doing. We see the ills that it causes and the results of what America and the American society is doing to us and how it affects us as a people. Now, it's like, what are our solutions to kind of combat what's happening to us? What can we do as a society to start saying, okay, look, we already know that negative music is being put out. So with the negative music being put out, let's every Saturday or every Sunday have a meal and we play music for the young people that they're not going to listen to no other way. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're gonna create this as a tradition. And every Saturday or every Sunday we do that because right now there's I've had the pleasure to do that with my grandsons. And now I want to do it even more because when I first would do it, they had their phones. So now they gonna put their ear things in, why, especially if you're driving, they put their earplugs in. Now they tuned out and they're not listening. But when we grew up, Saturday morning cleaning time, when your mom was cleaning up, she threw the record player on, and you're gonna listen to some
So what you saying?
Gladys
Have a
Knight.
throwback where they can listen to the old music. But
Right.
that's like
Different,
that's
not
like that's like getting the MP. That's like getting the MP and sampling nowadays. Like a lot of people, well, which is coming back. You feel me? Sampling the old music and putting it back in there, and playing the old music and bringing the old style back because you got to remember a lot of producers now is not us. It's not us. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not us, and it's like the music is gonna be different. They're gonna display a different type of music. You know what I'm saying? The young kids like that's not in our nationality. The young kids that's not black. You're not gonna go hear them sample Joe Tex or Betty White or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or or maybe they might don't even or Teddy or anything like that back in the day. You feel me, Joe? They might don't sample none of that, so those icons be lost and forgotten because they're not being displayed in the music that we're listening today. We're not being displayed in that music. Our culture is not being displayed entirely into that music. It's like this is the new wave, and that's by influence. It's up to us to like just just challenge it and just bring it back.
Right,
That's
right.
it.
So let's do something. Let's take it somewhere else now. Let's take it to, okay, how America uses black and white as a way to divide us as humans, as a human family, where plenty times, we can go on a rant, or and we go on a rant and say, well, white people are doing this, or we'll say they. Now, a lot of times we'll say they, and it's like they. When we saying they, we mean a few individuals. You know what I mean? A few influential, powerful individuals who want things to stay as it is. They want to keep the status quo. They don't want the people to unite because, as you said, if we are not making the music, people that shares our skin tone are not making the music, then that means other people with a different skin tone is making the music, and they're not saying, giving us a tribute, our people that share our skin tone a tribute when they're making the music. So we have to figure out a way not only to make sure people who share our skin tone are good, but also make sure people who don't share our skin tone understand that, look, we don't mean you no harm. We're not trying to take nothing from you. All we're trying to do is get what's rightfully ours. That's all we want. And we want the same thing you want: love, peace, and happiness at the end of the day for our families. And how can we make this type of life where it benefits all of us, no matter what our skin tone is, that we can be able to work together and make this planet
Well,
a better place for all of us?
I think that's happening. I think that's happening. As we speak, I don't think that's not happening when it comes to white people and black people, bro. I don't think that's not happening because I see it happening myself. You know what I'm saying? But it's the evolution of things. When things changes, man, and we change it, and we know that it's us that loses touch. So how can like you take like okay a couple of these groups that come from China, right, or Korea, R&B groups sound like Boys to Men and from back in the day, and sound like Guy and everything else with
Okay.
R&B music. You feel me?
So then that means other individuals are listening to
Of
the
course,
music then.
it's
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
You
They're
can't blame
listening to it.
nobody but us because and it's because we're still being influenced to go another route. Why everybody else is adapting to the route we're leaving. They're adapting to the route we're leaving, and we adapting to another route. Like for instance, I was listening to um these groups overseas, and they struck me, man. It was doing R&B, and I was like listening to their production was out of the world. I'm like, man, these bugs is hot, bro, for real, right?
Right.
And I'm listening to song after song. Then I listen to our R&B, and I'm like, wow, how vulgar it is, bro. Like, really? And they're not doing that, but we're doing it, and we're accepting it. And this is what I say, bro. We do it to ourselves, so we can't really blame. And we trend that, we accept that. So when a record comes out negative, we don't shut it. Like right now, okay? Everybody want to shut down R. Kelly. Okay, from the acts that he did. Now let's shut down Puffy. What's the name?
Right.
But we won't shut down the other type of music that is being played, bro. We won't shut that down. So that's
Well,
us.
well,
And that's by
so
influence. We don't
right,
know. Just being influenced.
and that's what I'm saying, that people who share our skin tone, they are being influenced, and we have to be mindful that, okay, how do we repair certain things with individuals when there's, my wife and I were talking this morning, and I was saying that it comes a point when you're coming up with reasons why you don't do something, and you're not having any action. It actually becomes an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you're not putting no action behind it. You're coming up with all these reasons and all these, ideas, but without action, it just becomes an excuse. So we, yeah, we can't take away. There's a lot of us that are doing the work. We're putting the work in. We're striving to make the change to get to where we need to be as a whole. However, there's still not enough of us making that effort, as you said. Why we are unable to, on our own, say, look, we're not listening to all this. It's okay to have some booty shaking, some sex music, but we want more than that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
We don't only
We
want
want to
we
balance
don't
it
only
around
want that.
because it's
Like,
always been there. It
right,
always
right, right,
existed.
right, right, right. So we're not opposed to it being there. We're just opposed to only having that choice. You know what I
Pushed
mean?
in front of us.
Right,
Pushed in
because
front of
right,
24/7.
right. So at the end of the day, it's like, I like burgers, but I don't want to eat a burger every day. So I may want a hot dog one day. I may want a steak one day. So we have to look at it the same way when it comes to our music. Look, we don't want the same thing all the time. We want a
Or
variety.
and our conversations too. Like I
As
mean, in the morning, you taking your kid to school and you listen to some of these morning shows and the topics they be on, and you be like, man, my kid in the car. I don't want to hear this crap. You feel me? So it also be that, but this is the influence, man. Because you don't remember when BET with Luke Skywalker, right?
Luke
Re-
Skywalker, right?
yeah, remember when they used to come on, like you had to be at 12 o'clock? You know what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't play it during the early time. You
Right.
understand? And we seen a big shift of things, man, and be introduced, and then we see the changes. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? That is being pushed in front of us, but it's still on us as a whole to accept this or not. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like
absolutely.
they can try anything, you know what I'm saying? And they could keep doing something, but you could shut them down, you know? And
Yeah,
this is
America.
what we were speaking about before. You be like, how can you stop a movement, man? Stop spending your dollar. If you stop spending the dollar, bro, they will stop. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that we can do, but do we do it?
I
The
mean, that's
influence
that.
is
That
not
well,
powerful enough to influence us to do the opposite of what they got us doing,
and
in
it's
my opinion,
unfortunate
bro.
that okay, that when it comes to melanated people, people of color, whatever you want to call us, we're still fighting some of the same struggles that were being fought 20, 30 years ago.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? And when do it comes a time where we say, okay, we had enough? I want to read something right quick that I saw DMX reading. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ecclesiastics, Ecclesiastics 3. It says, everything happens in this world at the time God chooses. He sets a time for birth and a time for death, the time for planting and the time for pulling up, the time for killing and the time for healing, the time for tearing down and the time for building up. He sets the time for sorrow and the time for joy, the time for mourning and the time for dancing, the time for making love and the time for not making love, the time for kissing and the time for not kissing. He sets the time for losing and the time for saving, and the time for throwing away and the time for tearing, and the time for mending and the time for silence, the time for talk and the time for love, and the time for hate, the time for war and the time for peace. So basically, you know, it caught my attention
Mm-hmm.
because we know everything is governed by time. And we all have
Wait, hold on. We you said that was from?
Ecclesiastics 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
so
just want to look it up behind you. You know what I'm saying, y'all?
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to see
yeah.
for myself, nigga.
Well, yeah, did you look up the treaties?
Yeah. I read the treaties, bro.
Yeah, but basically it's about timing. You know what I'm saying? And everything has a time. So he named a number of things: crying, mourning, love making, not making love, tearing, mourning. We go through all of these things. Now it's time for building. It's time for building. We got to rebuild. It's a time for tearing down. We've been tearing stuff, been getting torn down for a minute now. So, you know, let's take the time to start rebuilding and
Build and
repairing.
destroy. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We have to. It's to our benefit as a people, as a nation, as a country, as humans, to build ourselves to our higher selves, our higher level, our highest level of being. And I think there are a lot of individuals that are only functioning on their lower level of self. And when I say the lower level of self, I mean based on what it is that you want versus what you need. You know what I'm saying? So based on what you feel rather than your thought pattern, you know, or what you think rather than what you know. So it's time for us to start acting and preparing instead of being reactive to situations. There we've gotten to a point where a lot of us have become reactionary. You know what I'm saying? We're reacting to situations rather than planning and prepping prior to situations happening
Well,
so that
that's wisdom without knowledge, and there's no understanding. So a lot of us is just wisdom, and not we just receive it, and we just wisdom. We reacting on it. We not knowledging it to get the proper understanding to go forward with it. You know, our spirituality in life is a heavy thing, man, and we have to stay in touch with that. And some of us, we got to know how to tap into that to stay in touch with that, because it keeps us a level, man. Like we were speaking on before, that we got to go deep into about frequencies, man. You can laugh and everybody could think I'm bugging out, man. Frequency is a powerful thing, bro. It's a very powerful tool, and it's not seen. It's the unforeseen. So when you know that life is, you're dealing with a lot of things that's unforeseen. It's just like right now. Hey, they say this guy did this. Hey, speculation, unforeseen. Okay, now we got to bring the witness. It's a lot of things that we deal with, man, that we're not in touch with, and we're just reacting to it because we are taught to react to whatever they say to react to, and that is in a subliminal form. That is a certain frequency that I send out, because I could send out this information and I could do like that and have you respond to it exactly how I want you to respond to it. And that's how, it's a very powerful tool, man. And that's
Yeah.
how it works, especially like on social media right now, man. I mean, you could get 10 things, man. I mean, social media, if a person ain't strong and the people, I give it to them to be strong, to be on these platforms, man. You gotta be strong because people are rude, man. You know what I'm saying? And people just jump into whatever else somebody else say, bro. And you could crash. I mean, because people coming at you. And you gotta face it. You gotta deal with it. You gotta face it. So, it's that frequency. And where we at right now, you want to build, you have to build. The destroying is dead. And you build and destroy, bro. And you
Right,
destroy to
right, right,
build.
right.
In order to born, we got to tear this down and put this back up. You understand?
Yeah, yeah,
Now it's like
and the,
you're right. It's been torn down.
right,
It's been
and
torn down. So
right.
now we got to rebuild it.
It's right. And now we have to do the individual thing. Many of us have to do the individual thing. We have to take a look in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said. Look at the man or the woman in the mirror and start tearing down what it is that is holding us back from being our best selves. You know what I mean? So that means we got to be real with ourselves. We can't be, you know, faking, faking the funk. We got to look at ourselves and we got to really examine. Look, if this is what's stopping me from being my best self, then I got to get rid of that. I got to let that go.
I
No
agree.
longer, no longer will it be beneficial to us as a whole because we're only as strong as each link of the chain. So if everybody start doing the self refinement, then we're going to be back to what we were, amazing and powerful
Right.
without any opponent. You know what I'm saying? We don't have an opponent because there's not an opponent that can defeat us. We have allowed America to be that opponent that we say we can't defeat. You know what I mean? So we have to say, America, you can't defeat us. You've thrown your best at us. Here we are. We still standing. Now, let's see, can you handle our best? Let's see, can you handle what we're capable of?
Well,
Because
the situation we in, man, and the predicament we in. Well, we got to start building with these, what they call it, um, Bidenomics, man. Not economics, Bidenomics, man.
oh, like Reaganomics, like when we had the Reaganomics.
Yeah, man. Like this guy, bro. So what we really have to. Yeah, you got to look in the mirror and say, what is really happening. This is some real things occurring at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But real life changes is coming for a people, not just an individual.
Right, right, right.
It
Exactly.
ain't, and
And
we could be blinded, and some people could be called upon what they did. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you talk about a powerful organization like Homeland Security, FBI, you know, and I seen the FBI, Homeland Security, the sheriff. Man, I seen so many task force come after jokers, bro. It was a statement. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I remember. I
So
think I told you that time it was so many guns. I thought
absolutely.
we was
So
at we was at war, bro.
we got to start calling it what it is. We got to stop saying they and we got to start saying America. You know what I mean? America, because we're not talking about Americans. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? When we say America, we're not talking about
We
Americans.
talking about
We're
what every
talking
country
America.
know about America, right?
Right, right. So we're talking. So all of those agencies you just named, that's America. And when they're coming in their full force. So if we're not together and understanding that we are truly our brothers and sisters keepers, then we're going to fall to the wayside. We're going to continue allowing ourselves to get knocked down like bowling pins. You know what I'm saying? So we have the ability. We just have to start initiating it more and more often. And, you know, have these conversations. I wanted before you say anything, I want to say this right here. Now, this is something I posted on the short, and I want to hear, you know, what's your opinion on that? Do
Right.
you think more people gravitate to a lie easier than the truth? That this is something that I posted today. Do you think more people gravitate to a lie easier than the truth?
A lie of influence, you know, because a lie is always disguised, and it's always has backing. It always has testimonial or witness. You know what I'm saying? So I think that people can recognize certain type of lies and they won't gravitate to it. And I think a lot of people will question it at first, but then yeah, a lot of people will gravitate to it based on the witnesses, the testimony, and the structure it's in. That's what I think. You know, I don't think we just, we listen to something and you just got a percentage of people that will just run with it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember, it's like truth is always being revealed. Okay, the falsehood is what's trying to stay, it's trying to hold on. The truth always coming up out of the surface, and then we tuck it back down because we don't. Here come the truth. Oh well, damn, they said that before.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
my take is in many cases it's easier to accept the lie rather than the brutal honesty of the truth, because a lot of times, you know, there's some things that people say that, you know, little slogans that don't really make sense, but the truth hurts. That's a true statement at times. You
Right.
know what I mean? At times, the truth, when you tell people the truth, sometimes they just don't want to accept it because they're not ready. Because
Or they
they've
don't want to
been they
receive it from you.
right, they're not right. It could be that too. They don't want it, they don't like the messenger, or they're just not ready to make the necessary adjustments
Hey, for the
within
truth.
their mentality and their emotions that it's going to take to accept it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I come to the realization of that's what it is. And there's no harm or no foul for that. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone has the opportunity to grow at their own level. And that's their right. You grow at your own level. As much as I would love to push a person up fast like I want to, it's you know, I'm not it's not my ability to do that, and it's not really my place to do it. So, you know, my wife tell me, you know, and you've said sometimes I'm too demanding with the people. So I'm working on that. See, as like you said the other day, don't tell the people something that I'm not willing to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or I'm not working on. So when I say look in the mirror, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking in the mirror with you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I'm looking at flaws and areas in my character that I want to make better, that I want to increase so that I can be a better individual, a better, you know, role model, if you want to say that. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. I got
So
you.
so that's basically what it is. So each day I drop about, you know, 4 different slogans. Now one of them happens to be, the other one is this: why is it so difficult for some of us to let go people and things that cause us hardship and pain?
From habit, from some of us think that's mercy, and like we're being mindful, like I'm not gonna do it, and some of us just procrastinators. Some of us don't know how to let go of some things, adjust to new things. Like you said, it's tied in emotionally and mentally, and it's tied in, so we hold on to it. We don't know how to let it go. So we take that type of abuse, and we know that for being as a people, knowing things are wrong, seeing it wrong in front of us, know it's no good for us, but we accept it. But individually, we could say we not accepting it, but individually, it ain't coming after you. It's coming after you as a people. So some of us, like I told you, I'm like, yo, we could go make our own money. We could buy our own house. You ain't got to live in the system. You can live. You ain't got to ever deal with the system in your life. You could live a great life, and you could go and you could live and you could die. But that's individually. But as a people, if that's a whole different scenario. They're not coming after you individually. They're coming at you as a people. So we don't know how, because we already been trained to accept this type of nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So and that
What do you
and
think about that? What do you think
no,
about that?
no, no. I agree that we have been taught. Remember, we went and did 12 years of school. Some of us go from kindergarten or Head Start. So let's say first grade to
First,
seventh grade.
right,
Then we go to middle school. Well, first to sixth grade. Then some of us go to middle school, seventh and eighth. Then on to 12. And during that time, we are taught how to basically fall in line.
how to
You know
function.
what I mean? Because fall in line, because basically, let's look at it. You go to school and you're there for 8 hours. You're 8 hours, you're getting instructions on what to do, how to do it, and things of that nature.
And being disciplined.
Yeah,
And being
right,
programmed. Yeah, you're
right,
being
right, right,
properly disciplined.
right, right.
You can't go to the
Being
bathroom
right, right,
without, you
right.
can't,
Now,
you gotta
right,
ask.
right. You got it right. You're being programmed to fall in line. That's what I mean, fall in line. Because
Right,
you're
yeah.
basically, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to raise my hand.
Right. I
Uh,
get you.
if I ask a question, I got to raise my hand. So
Right. Yeah.
what is psychologically happening is you're being prepared to be like almost like a robot almost, because how many hours you normally work a job. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason is very few individuals become entrepreneurs, because John F. Rockefeller put
They they
together
they designed that.
he put together the Board of Education so that he don't want entrepreneurs, he wanted workers.
Right.
So now we're being programmed to work, and okay, we're working. Now the one thing that many of us, no matter how we live our lives, other than jokers who are, you know, some people who have entrepreneur businesses, they get a leeway. But
What do you mean?
if you're working, if you're working a job,
Right.
there's no way you can avoid paying your taxes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
all
So
right.
so
Don't type
so
into that one.
so when Rockefeller put that together, they already had that in mind. Okay, they're working, they're paying their taxes, because here we talk about government money, and this is where I say black and white is divisive, being used divisive to keep the people from coming together and approaching what is being done to both of us, to
Right.
all of us. You know what I mean? So here we are, here, all of us working, we're paying our taxes, and the so-called president, along with the Congress and the House of Representatives, get the opportunity to send our money. Because remember, where the government gets money from? When
People.
you federal taxes,
Yeah.
federal taxes. So that
It's a
tax money,
cycle. It
right,
goes in a
right.
circle.
They get the chance to send our money to wherever they decide. Yet they give us the illusion that the people have the power and the control of who you vote in. But you voted people in, but still they got electoral votes that
That
votes the
override you.
president.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they have they have the majority of us under this illusion where you got to vote, you got to make sure you vote. But at the end of the day, if you're voting for the president and it's up to the delegates, because Trump proved that. Trump
Right.
proved that you can win the popular vote, but you can lose the election. So that what's his name with Bush? Bush proved it too.
Right.
You can win the popular vote, but you can lose the election. So here we are bickering black and white against each other. So the government does this. Look, let's throw those who we call white a couple of extra things so that those who we call black can be envious of the whites. Now, let's take some from those who we call black so those who we call white can look at them like, they less than. They less than they. So now that you got the two people at odds with each other, looking at people as each other as the opposition, now the government says, ha ha ha, let's work our magic. Let's keep them both dumb and stupid.
Well, it's today we have an advantage. You know what I'm saying? As a people in our society, um, it's like in today's society, white and black. You know, we see a lot of what America is doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's how we come about, and it's a lot being taking place because a lot of different organizations that organized in 2024 from a COVID from 2019 2020. A lot of
All right, we got
organizations
we
that
got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. So
a lot
this
of
this
organizations that have been put together has
no,
been put together
no, we
with
got 2 minutes. You got
coincide with the white and the black here in America. So I think, and as you see how they stormed down the Capitol, you feel me, and did they thing, shows you that there is not they don't want to tolerate those issues with the government losing their farms,
right.
losing those jobs, and everything else, just like everybody else. So I think we are the connection now, and this
We're
is an election.
connected.
Yeah,
We're
it's the
connected.
connection now. It's the
Right.
connection now. It's like to bring them more in around the round table and let us all speak and let us all sit down and come out with solutions
Absolutely.
for the people, for
Absolutely.
humanity. And we come
Absolutely.
around at the table and come up
Yeah.
with some answers. Because if you
Yeah.
really think about it, the white and the black people, as they describe us as the white and the black people, we have a lot of say on what goes in this country and around the world. So we could change a lot of things together, brother.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
in
And
my
and that's
opinion, bro.
and that's
Don't
why
come at me, bro.
and that's why America, and we got to stop saying they, America wants to keep us at odds.
And
You
which
know
is
what I mean?
difficult to do in 2024.
Right, right,
That's not
right, right,
easy to do in
right. And
2024.
right, but we still have sirens, those who are pushing the siren.
Of course, of course.
The white people is this, the black, we got to separate
You're
families.
gonna have those, but
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
why these
and
platforms exist to let
right,
people know that they ain't like that all the way around the world.
and that's part of what those are the ones who's getting the million views, the ones who are talking like that. So at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna keep plugging at it.
We'll
And
be the turtle, baby.
and we don't want people to think that, look, we love our people as we love all people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
That's
of
just what it
course.
is. You know? And till next time,
The next week, brother,
till
Monday,
next week.
we coming at y'all. We got a good program coming at y'all from Peep Game TV, Big Muslim, Shadi, King Duhan. You know, put them up, put them up. You know what I'm saying? So
AKA
y'all tune in,
SRD.
subscribe, look us up, and let's get this
And
platform going,
bring
baby.
some people and stay on the line and give your comments. Stay on the line. We want to hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? So stay on the line, bring some people, give us your comments so we can work this thing out
You talking to
together,
me?
because we don't have all the answers.
You talking to me?
We, huh?
You talking to me?
Talking to you and everybody else with you.
Nah. All right, bro.
So love, peace, and happiness.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam.